All right, and here we go. GrethanCast, where humor dies. Apologies. Um, I think we're good. All right, how are you doing today, Miss Cameron?
I'm pretty good. How about you, Grethan?
I am doing fantastic. Huh. Well, hold up. And okay, sorry. Um, yeah, this is very surreal. Let's just say that. I'm totally not
Yeah.
used to this. So my name is Michael, all commonly referred to as Grethan amongst my friends, and I am very excited because I normally this is our first podcast. Um,
Yes.
Today we're gonna be talking about our pet peeves and stuff. Just random whatever. After this, it's gonna be very fun. Very
Yes.
nice.
This will
Very,
be like ranting about pet peeves and things.
and it's gonna be fantastic. Um, all right. So, yeah, this is introduce yourself.
So, hi guys. My name is Cameron. I don't really have a nickname that my friends call me. Mostly just Cameron.
'Cause
Some
she's
call me
lame.
Cammy. Right there. How dare you? Um. So basically, I just want to tell you guys how we ended up doing this podcast. So our teacher, it was a little while before coronavirus was a thing, and she was like,
You
"Hey,
can't
you
say
guys
it.
would make a great podcast."
Demonetizations. Yeah, she
She was
just.
like, "You guys would make a great podcast. I think you guys should do a podcast." So then we finally came to the conclusion when Grayson was like, "Hey, well, let's do a podcast," and I was like, "Sure."
Where humor dies.
Yes.
All right, so welcome to the GrethanCast. So tell us a bit about yourself, you person. We get your name is Cameron. You don't have to repeat that
Yeah,
part.
yeah, yeah.
All right, what do you like to do?
So I do like to talk about lots of things. I like to sing. Most of the time, I'm just chilling in my room.
Well, that's good.
Trying not to yell at my brother, cause I'm a nice person.
Well,
I swear.
that's very funny. Well, uh, I'm a video game collector. I collect video games and talk about them nonstop. I'm a nerd. I'm more of a Nintendo boy. I have some Sega games, but I'm a Nintendo boy.
He
Mostly.
really is.
I really am. If you ask any of my other friends, I'm sure Cameron won't say it because she's right here, but they will say that I'm very annoying and that I should stop talking about video games all the time.
Well, it's better than talking about the other person. You know who I'm
What?
talking about?
No, I
It's
don't.
better than you. It's better than you constantly talking about Ari.
Hey, it's not my fault. I have a life.
So do I. What do you think I'm doing right now? Nothing.
Yes, you might have a life, but you don't do much with it. Neither do I. Neither do I, let's be honest.
I mean, really, all of us can't really do anything with it.
Well, not yet, at least. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm just a boy with a dream. I just quoted Soulja Boy, and when he said that, he started pirating video games. So, that's
Oof.
something. Oof. That's right. Court time.
All right, Grethan. Tell us some more things about you other than video games.
I like to sing. I hate Fortnite. I mean, hate's a strong word. Yeah, I hate
It
Fortnite.
is, but I hate Fortnite too.
I hate Fortnite. I strongly dislike TikTok. I don't despise it. I don't hate it. It does get on my nerves. Whenever you see somebody do a cringy Fortnite dance in public, that's how I feel whenever somebody does a cringy TikTok dance in public.
I do TikTok dances to get on people's nerves.
Exactly.
But
You're a
mostly I
horrible
talk on my
person.
channel.
You are the
On my
worst.
channel,
You
on
are
my
the
channel, I
worst.
just like talk.
Well,
only
you're fit
talk on
for
my
this.
channel
You're
and do transitions
very nice. You know,
and
I'm
routines.
loving this art. I'm loving it. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba,
I'm
am
loving
I
it.
right?
Boom. Yeah. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
I'm
I'm
loving
loving it.
it. Okay, so what are your some I feel like I'm interrogating your interviewing your whatever. Is that what's
Okay.
happening?
Let me get my pop-up first, yeah?
Okay.
Okay. So, let's see. My hobbies are to draw, not specifically people. I'm horrible at that. I draw random shapes and I outline them and I kind of make the shapes look good, you know? I like to draw. I'm a Harry Potter nerd. Like, I got so mad when I was watching this show and they kept trying to do freaking Muggle Quidditch. I was so mad because you can't do Muggle Quidditch. There's no such thing. In Quidditch, you have to fly. Okay, you
Yes,
have to
yes you do.
fly to do Quidditch. There's
Mhm.
no such thing as muddle Quidditch. You can't fly.
Did you just say
And
muddle?
there's Muggle. I'm sorry, I want to say muddle because
It's like a tongue twister. Muggle is just
yeah,
a word that you don't say a lot. You say mug sometimes, but you never say muggle
Muggle. If you guys don't know what it is, Muggle is basically a human, not a wizard. If you're not a
or
wizard. You're
witch.
not a witch. You're just a regular human. And Quidditch is basically a game, and it's like
It's
I
like
want to
some
say
kind of soccer or
capture the
football.
flag.
Capture the
It's
flag.
like
Yeah, that's what I said.
yeah,
On broomsticks, in the air. The worst thing that'll
yeah,
happen is that you fall and break a leg, but whatever.
yeah. You get hit by a bludger, and you yeah, and then you basically there's a
I
golden
only read the
snitch
first
flying
book.
around, and people are going to be throwing bludgers at you, trying to get in front of you, trying to get the golden snitch. When you get the golden snitch, you win the whole game, and you have to find it and get it. People will be throwing bludgers, which will try to knock you off of your broom. And bludgers are not like dodgeballs. They're not just going to fly and then they'll be gone. They will follow you while you're flying. The bludgers follow you, and bludgers are not people. They're like dodgeballs, but they're very
You just said they
strong and they
weren't
will
like
knock you
dodgeballs.
off.
You literally just said
Yeah, but
they're not
still,
like dodgeballs. Oh yeah, they're
no,
like dodgeballs.
no, because
Pick a
they're not like
side,
dodgeballs
Cameron.
where
Pick a side.
they're like I don't, what type of ball follows you around?
The Phineas and Ferb a baseball gun thing.
The baseball gun thing.
Yeah,
Like
they
that.
had
It
like a
follows
gun
you
with like a
around.
mitten, like a little baseball glove that had like a radio ball, and
And
it
it's
was like you could like control where the ball went. It was really cool.
and
Phineas
like
and Ferb. There's
and it's just trying
208
to
days of
yeah.
self isolation. Can school come along, please? Just end it. That one, that game.
Yeah. But
Very nice.
yeah, that's basically Harry Potter. I have not finished all the books because
I only read the first one.
from 1 to 3 they're short, but from 4 to 7 they are the longest. The longest book is almost 1,000 pages.
Nerd. So my hobbies,
Hey.
I like to draw sometimes. I'm not good at drawing at all, but I do like to just practice sometimes. I'd say I'm horrible at it. Not much. I have this desk in the corner next to my Galaga, but I don't do much. I have a niece who likes to play toys and scream, so that's something that they do. That's something that she does. Very nice.
I
She's a wonderful
I
person.
hear yeah. I have a brother that likes to scream in the middle of the night while he's watching videos.
Wow. Imagine I
At
just
least you
wasn't
don't have
recording.
to. At least you don't have to hear your niece every night you go to sleep.
Well, I mean, you're right, but I do have to hear her some nights. Am I right, lads, or
Yeah.
am I right, lads? Well, this is awkward.
I
So
think we should get into the main thing now.
yeah, we should get it. So what are your pet peeves, Miss Cameron? Tell me. I am the
Well,
doctor.
one of my pet peeves is when you're crying. Well, when you're trying not to cry, and someone comes up to you and says, "What's wrong? It's okay." And then you
Treat you
just
like a
break down.
child. It's very annoying. I am not a child. I'm not a child.
Stop. Because like you're
I
trying not to
really
cry,
do
and then
hate
they
it
come
though.
up to you and they're just like, "Oh,
What's
it's
wrong,
okay."
baby? It's very
And you're just
annoying.
like, please stop. You're just like about to like let it all out.
Yeah. Speaking of which, my niece is crying right now. Shut up, I'm doing a podcast.
Hey, that's not how you do it. You gotta go. You're supposed to go ask her what's wrong. You're supposed to be like, "Are you okay?" And then she'll tell you, and then you fix the problem. Which the problem should be very easy to fix.
Alright.
Because it's a little child. Their problems are very small and easy.
One of my pet peeves is really just, dedicated towards me. It's not really something I don't like about people. It's just something that I don't like about myself. She's
What is
still
it?
screaming. So like I make jokes. Whenever I make a funny joke, you laugh. But whenever I make a funny joke, my other friends just kind of just look like I'm very annoying and act like I'm just like, ew, why is he even there? Please shut up. I'm trying to do this.
Well, I gotta go get something. It will take like a few seconds. I swear. Hold on.
Oh, come on, man. Yeah. So, one of my other pet peeves is like when people just don't clean their rooms. Like, I have a brother, my older brother. He's like 3 years older than me. Whenever I go into his room, there's just trash everywhere. One time we went in there and we found like a week-old spaghetti under his bed. That's how bad it is. It's terrible. Like dirty socks everywhere. The room is just like a wasteland of trash. Not good. Like, find month-old bag of chips that aren't even finished. Most of the time, like one time we got a big, a few cans of Pringles, the big ones. And I was really looking forward to eating some of the cheddar. So I go into the pantry to get some, and they're all gone. Like, my brother just had the whole thing in his room, and when I asked for it, there was like
That's
3 Pringles left. Gosh darn it! Like,
That's the
come
most
on,
annoying
man.
thing. But like, you can't blame them because they're Pringles and they're so thin and they make you want to keep eating them. Because
Yeah,
it's
they're not
it's
big.
just
They
the way
don't
that Pringles are.
satisfy your needs. I
Yes,
need
because
more
they're so
Pring.
thin. And then, but you still can blame him because, dude,
He ate them all.
you could have like,
You could have
you
saved
could have
some for us.
not.
Like, my older sister, who's 19, turning 20 later this year, was really upset that she couldn't have her cheddar cheese Pringle, even though she, makes a lot of money a month. A lot of money to us fellow kids because we don't have to buy things. $5 is a lot to me. So,
It is
it
to me
really
also,
is. I don't get money. I only get money on my birthday. And even then, it's never more than like $200. So
but here, let me roll on
it's
to
never
mine.
it's always less. All right, go ahead.
Let me roll on to one of mine. So, here's my question. Why do your parents make you try to go to sleep? Well, some of your parents may not make you do this. Mine do. Try to make you go to sleep, and it's routine. Like, why do I need to go? It's quarantine. I have nothing to do tomorrow.
Your audio's a little glitchy. Let's just say that.
Sorry, I think I need to talk. I think I need to
You
talk
need
into
to
the
you need
mic,
to yell into the microphone.
or it's probably because of this freaking water bottle. But I'm so thirsty. My throat is so dry.
So I'm gonna glug. So what
This
I'm
used to be
talking
a
glug
water bottle.
is that I don't like glug when people glug 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 glug. Don't clean up glug after themselves glug.
Oof. Okay, so what was I talking about again?
Parents when they make you go to sleep even though you have no school and like you I mean you have nothing to do tomorrow. It's not like you're going on a
I
vacation.
know.
You don't go to school. There's no summer school, no camp, nothing going on tomorrow. You're just home all day. And then they make you go to sleep at a specific time. Like, come on, I'll go to sleep
And
whenever I
even
want to.
and even if you are going on a vacation, which you can't, let's say there's no coronavirus and you had to go on a vacation, why would you do that? It's a vacation. We are not the ones that have to drive. Depends on how far you're going. If you're driving somewhere, the kids are not the one that have to drive. The ones that have to drive. So why do they need sleep? Because they're just going to be sitting in the car, and they might as well fall asleep in the car. So that's why you need to stay up all night so you can fall asleep in the car, so the car ride won't be so long.
Thank you.
If you're in a plane, same thing. You're not controlling the plane. You're not the pilot of the plane. You don't have to the plane. You don't have to fly the plane. So why do you need to sleep at night? You don't. You can just fall asleep on the plane when you get in. Like it's not hard.
I understand, don't go on, don't, be loud and play with your friends in, the middle of the night and yell.
Yeah.
But I don't understand, don't go on your phone at nighttime. It's bad for you. We have 2 more months left.
And then he's like, just watch TV, okay? Just watch TV. So then I watch TV. My brother's screaming at the top of still doesn't get in trouble. So I'm watching TV. Then he comes like, cut off the TV. You should be asleep by now.
Bruh.
Like, what is this sorcery? What? You just told me
You
to
know,
watch TV and not be on the phone, and now you're telling me to cut off my TV.
I-
Like I need to sleep. I don't need to sleep. I don't.
I
I'm just gonna do nothing tomorrow. I just will sleep in the morning or in the day or something.
I stay up all
'Cause,
night
at
and
night,
okay.
it's when you want to do the most stuff because that's the mood that you're in. You want to call your friends. You want to be on your phone. You want to do this. You want to do that. It's the time where you want to do those things. It's not just like I don't want to do this. Yeet.
Okay, I'm gonna assume that's the end. Moving swiftly on. When people cut you off, that's my pet peeve. When you're talking and people cut you off, that's my least favorite part. It's like that does get on my nerves.
Bust into your room, okay? By the way, I'm just stalling for Gretha right now. I don't know where he went.
I'm literally talking right now, and you're just cutting.
And now stall for him.
Bruh, I'm right. I'm just gonna turn the volume down so you can't hear her. My biggest pet peeve is when people cut you off in mid conversation, and it does get on my nerves really badly. Has that ever happened to you, Cameron? Somebody cut you off in the middle of the conversation? Okay, so I guess I'm pretty sure it's happened to everyone, but it happens to me all the time, and it's very annoying. I'm trying to get a point across so I can go back to my room and chill, just want to talk to my mom or family or whatever, and then somebody just starts talking, and then I have to wait 5 minutes to finish my thought. It's I could be in my room right now, but nope. Nope, you gotta have a conversation in the middle of mine. It's pretty annoying. So yeah. I'm very confused what's going on. So yeah. Moving on to her thoughts. What Uh, anyways, so have hey so I am very confused on what's going on right now. I think she's trying to have a conversation in the middle of my conversation. That's just ironic. That's very very funny. Very very iron. S Hey, Cameron, can you let Cameron Cameron Cameron? Can you hear me? Are you deaf? Are you deaf? Can you hear me? Cameron, for real. Cameron, for real. I'm being serious. Can you hear me? I'm I think she can't hear me. Hold up. Can you hear me? I think we got disconnected or something. Ooh. All right, let's check this out.
You good?
Could you hear me or were you just talking?
I was just talking. I was trying to stall for you. I couldn't hear you. I thought you were doing something, so I just
Oh,
stalled for you.
no. I was talking. So anyways, so the hilarious thing is that I was talking about, how my biggest pet peeve is when people always cut you off. And then whenever I asked on Europe and like in the middle of my conversation, like asking, like saying, "Oh, I hate it when people cut me off." You just start talking and cutting me off, and it's very funny. You'll have a good chuckle at this when you listen to this.
But I
Anyways,
didn't know you.
shut up. Shut up. Come on. Just stop talking. Let me finish this conversation. I'm very confused on what you're doing, if you're doing this on purpose. This is so funny. But have you ever been cut off on a conversation before? Cuz I sure have. Tell me, what
Yes.
what was that experience like?
It's all of my family. I will legit be talking to anyone. I like most of the time I'm talking to my dad. I'll be talking to my dad and my brother, my sister, my mom, anybody. They'll just come and start talking to my dad. Well, I'm talking to him. Mom, do you not see me talking to him? Do you not see me?
Like I'm gonna have like a conversation with my dad. Like, hey, have you seen the newest Star Wars thingy, McDoodad? Oh, very cool, very cool. And my brother will bust in like saying, Dad, your oven it's on fire. You let the chicken in for too long, and it's just like, come on, man. It's obviously more important what I'm trying to talk about. Like, geez. For all intents and purposes, for legal reasons, that's a joke. For legal reasons, that's a joke. For serious Indian mafia, please don't kill me. That's a joke. That's also a joke. Anyways, what's another? So you were talking about how when your siblings bust into your room earlier. How is that like? It happens to me all the time. It is very very happens to me all the time. Very upsetting.
By the way, people, I hope you heard that. I did not know he was talking. I couldn't hear him, and I was like waiting because I thought he was doing something. I guess his mic cut off or something.
Yes, like I kept talking. I said, "Hey, can you hear me?" And you just didn't. You just kept rambling on. So
Yeah, I was like stalling for him. I was just like, okay, let me just stall for this dude. I guess he's like going to do something. I swear I wasn't cutting him off. I swear I could not hear him.
that is very funny. You're gonna have a good laugh. Anyways, so now let's just talk about whatever. We've gotten to the point where like we've gotten to the whole meat of this conversation already. Let's get to the bread.
Okay,
That was a
so
dumb metaphor.
basically, so those are just some pet peeves.
Some we have a lot more, but well, we don't want to like go on for like 5 hours.
Yeah.
So let's just what do we talk about? This is something I've always been curious. Whenever we're in a conversation, we just talk. I don't know what we talk about. And with some people I don't know what to talk about. Just like with Cameron, we just talk. We just talk about random stuff, and I'm very confused on how we transition into that random stuff at all, but I don't know. Like when I'm trying to make conversation with other people, it's just like, well, now what? It's just very awkward. But we can just keep going on, and I'm very confused on how I do that with people. How do you have a conversation? Like apparently you know it and you do it, but whenever you're trying to do it with someone else, doesn't work. It's just like some people, you have the key to the conversation. Very weird.
Yeah, and some you don't.
Like last year, I could talk to let's just say a really good friend of mine last year, now girlfriend. Not really, anything before high school doesn't count. Haha, funny. You're not watching this. You're not even listening to it. Let's be honest.
Oof.
I mean, let's be
That's
honest. We're
big
like gonna
oof
get
and
like
it's
5
dramatic.
viewers on this, but
It's
like
on a podcast, okay? Maybe
yeah,
our
like
classmates
last
will
year.
see it.
Shut up. Shut up, please. I apologize for that break. Anyways, so like I could talk to her like all day long. I don't understand why I can't do it anymore. Like what happened? Did I just lose my magic?
It's probably awkward now because you're dating. You used to be such good friends.
And now we're such gooder friends. That's a word.
More than friends.
More than friends. Ooh ooh. I'm banging you against the wall because I can. What?
Michael, that shit is so wrong.
I'm banging you against the wall. Like never mind that. So
Think about it. Just
okay, so so what do you want to talk about, friend?
Sorry, I'm peeling the scab off of my leg.
Okay, anyways, so what do we talk about at lunchtime? Like what do we do?
The most random stuff ever. We just like scream at each other in like mice language.
I remember when we we used to like just have a mouse off. It wasn't like a hot kind of mouse. It was more like kind of mouse.
Yeah.
It was just like
And then the gym class or whoever will be looking at us like, what are you doing?
it made us look weird, but it was worth it, let's be honest.
Yeah, it was our way of talking.
It was our way of communicating, and I felt like cuz sometimes we would actually throw words there. It's very you couldn't really hear it. You couldn't really understand it, but I'm not good at conversating. I'm sorry. But you couldn't really understand it, but sometimes we could, like I could hear a word and then I immediately knew what we were arguing about. That's just how it do.
And then we both begin to try to do this Asian accent.
Oh, no, let's not get into that. That's for another time, okay?
Yeah.
This is all about the rats. Oh, I used to do voice impressions. I don't do much voice impressions. No, I used to be able to do the Peter Griffin, but I'm no longer good at it that much. I was never good at it, but it was like, hey Lois, I'm in a podcast. What can you do any impressions, friend?
Hold on. Give me a hot second.
I can do Waluigi. Wah! Waluigi. Something like that. It was something like that. That's how he went. He went.
I'm
Wah!
pretty good
Wah!
at the Mario accent. Me and my
It's a
brother
me,
used to talk
Mario.
in-
Yahoo!
Me and my brother, we were obsessed with Mario stuff, so we used to talk in Mario Luigi language.
Mario Luigi language? You mean Italian?
I'd be like,
I mean,
hey,
oh, I thought you meant like
yeah.
Let's eat. I'm hungry.
Let's eat. I'm
Yummy, yummy, yummy.
And he'd be like, all right.
Is that your Luigi? I can't do one either, but that's just funny. You know,
It would be
alright.
and I'm pretty
That's
sure
not
our
good
parents were
either.
like, what? And then we'd be talking like that, but
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure our parents would just be like, what have we created? What is this? And we'd just be talking that way.
You know those old books, like if you give a mouse whatever? No.
Yeah, if you give the mouse cookies and milk or whatever.
And one thing I don't like about so you remember Mr. Farrell?
Mhm.
Oh man, we probably shouldn't be name dropping these people, but our like little guy, I always forget what they're called. Like the little counselors. They come in the elementary schools.
Yeah.
And they like talk like they like maybe read you a book. You like learn a lesson about like no bullying or whatever.
Yeah.
It was if you give a mouse an iPhone, and pretty much like they would be distracted all day because somebody who wrote it, the person who wrote it was like totally a boomer. Like it was so boomer. Like if you gave a mouse an iPhone, if you give a teenager an iPhone, they never stop looking at it and they will miss everything because they're just only looking at their iPhone. And like, come on, man. Like that is just the
Like it's your life.
okay, boomer. I mean, we look up from our like, what am I doing right now? Sure, I'm talking into a microphone, looking at this handsome logo, and just chillaxing with a friend. But I mean, I look away from my video games after a minute. I just got done playing, with toys with my niece. And now that she's done playing with toys, I'm doing this podcast, so I can go ahead and get it off my skin.
But
Like it's
hold on.
oh come on, man. I don't like these people. Like they're just like, hey, you need to. Those darn kids, phone bad, book good. Jeez.
Like I read books. Do you not see me?
Yeah, I read books all the time. In fact, we went on vacation like a few weeks ago. Like early May, like 18th of May. And pretty much the only thing I did there was read books. I brought my book. So in our class library, there was this book called City of Ghosts. Really good, really good. So I bought the sequel, and I didn't read it for some reason. I just didn't want to read it. But I eventually I wanted to read it, and it was super good. Like it was really good. It was way better than the first one, and I had a blast just reading it and rereading it because it's just that good. It was very amazing. Pretty much City of Ghosts was about this girl. I'm not even going to get into it, but pretty much she died, so now but she was saved by a ghost, so now her best friend is a dead person. She can cross between the veil of the living and the dead, and she can she discovers her purpose. It's a whole thing. You got to read it. But whatever. It was a really good book. I enjoyed it.
But like,
What?
but like, I don't really have any more things.
Me neither.
Okay.
I'm done. I have no idea what else to talk about. Oh, and also I totally forgot to mention the last part. It's that book. So it was like 2013. Okay, this was like peak 2013. So in there, like they were like, so the rat was on a. I guess I'm gonna call it a rat. So there's a rat is on a dolphin or whatever, and then it's like, and they're all like saying, "Cool, what game is that?" And one of the dolphins says, "Is that Minecraft?" In the original book, they said, "Is that Minecraft?" But when the counselor read it, he said, "Is that Minecraft or Fortnite?"
I,
Th- th- This was in
Like, I understand, like, you're
2013.
trying to, I
Like, you're
understand
trying to
trying to,
be hit with the kids, but
yeah, but
uh
that's too much.
that's a bit
You
like
added a little too
like
much.
added like some word that isn't even in. I would hate that book if it just said Fortnite in general, but why like trying to be cool with the children, like adding the word Fortnite in it, even
Like,
though it only said Minecraft because, boomer humor, everybody
like,
likes Minecraft,
dude,
2013,
no. You're adding too
meaning.
much salt. Calm down with the
You're just
salt. It's
adding
too
more
salty.
salt to the wound. This whole book is just an open wound. Like, the entire book is just a knife seeping through your skin. Adding the word Fortnite to it just is adding salt to the wound.
Yeah, it is.
So it
I
takes
think
a
it's
minute to recover from that.
like, bruh. Speaking of wounds, my dad, he blew up this kiddie pool for me and my brother. And it wasn't like one of those tiny itty bitty ones. It was a little big. So basically, the water got dirty, and I was jumping in the pool trying to get all the water. I kept repeatedly jumping in it, trying to just exit all the water. Like, I don't want this water anymore. And I was just jumping. So at my last jump, I jumped, and when I got in the pool, my brother's toy car magically wounded me so bad.
Oh, that reminds
So
me of
bad.
something.
And it doesn't hurt anymore. I'm not gonna lie.
I
It's
hate.
scabbed up. It's scabbed up nicely. Now there's a big scab and a little scab. The big scab, the little scab, it bleeds the most blood, so I'm not gonna pick at it. But the big scab, it's just a long scratch. I picked it because I know there's not gonna be any blood.
I think I'm enjoying this a bit more than they are. Now there's that. That's another thing I hate. I hate those inflatable things. So those inflatable courses, where you have to like those obstacle courses and
Yeah,
or like water slides.
yeah,
Um, you know how they're like those like the little sides just kind of stick out and they can like
yes.
really hurt, especially like on those slides if they're there, like especially on the water slides. This has happened to me so many times that's why I always wear a shirt whenever I go swimming, because not because I don't want to like show my body. I just don't want to cut myself, because every time I go down one of those water slides, those inflatable water slides, my back always gets like a what I'd assume to be a paper cut, even though it's not paper. But like there's a big cut on my back because of those things, and it really freaking hurts.
Uh, well,
That's one thing I don't like about them. Go ahead.
but when I go in the pool, the well, not when I go in the pool, but basically, so I have neighbors, and I go over to their house, like not in the house, but we play outside in their backyard because they have a trampoline, um, a bunch of different things. They have swings. They have like this little saucer, and you get in it, and then someone just like rocks it back and forth, and it's just like paradise, and it's under a shade tree, and it's
Okay.
it's awesome. Okay, okay,
So it's like
okay.
Phineas and Ferb background,
Yeah.
backyard. Yeah. No, just a
Okay, and
tree.
then so we go over there, right? This time we have water guns, we have
Ooh.
balloons, we
Ooh.
have a bunch of different stuff,
Ooh.
like water toys. And so we were filling them up with water, and my brother has this really strong blaster. It's not so strong anymore because I broke it a little, but it was really strong. He blasted it, and it was like, and when it hit you, it hurt. It
Oh
hurt.
yeah, like one of those those garden hoses that have like the different
Yeah,
settings. Oh god,
yeah.
those suck.
And then those things, and also it's not just made for water. You can blow balloons up with it. It comes with some balloons, and you just blow them up with it. Anyways, back to the point. So my brother took one and blasted it in my ear,
Wow.
and it hurt.
I can assume.
And there's so much water stuck in my ear. And basically, it was stuck in there for like 2 weeks. And when it finally got out, it felt so good. But it was in the middle of when I was doing schoolwork, because this was during online school. And I was writing in the book, and then I turned my head, and the water spilled out on my book.
That sucks, man. Did your book? Did you get your book good, or is it still wet?
Yeah. It's good. It's a little good, but just one page is like smudged and you can't read it.
Oh man.
But it's just that stupid school book that they sent home, so I don't care about it. That big old packet. But guess what? I looked at my brother's, and he has way more pages than mine. Like, our 5th grade books are legit smaller than my brother's 2nd grade book. He has way more school pages.
Well, I mean, they don't. Actually, I have no snide remark for that one. That's just wow. Huh. It's been a minute. Well, huh. I think we've run out of things to talk about.
Yeah, so let's get to that.
I mean, it's been 41 minutes already.
Yeah, it has.
I think we should, just
Go.
go. I gotta hang out with my niece. I think my brother's about to go. So
And
I want to chillax. And we set up a tent in the backyard. Our backyard is super small. We only have like a very small fire pit and a really small tent. So we're going to get that.
I'm not trying to brag, but we have this giant old backyard.
We had a giant backyard at our old house, but our house was so small.
And like
I had to share a room with my brother. It was really small. Really freaking
one half
small.
of the side is really big, and one other half of the side is really big. One half is like for gardening, and one's just grass.
Mm-hmm.
And we do have I'm gonna say a little spacey tent. It can fit my dad, my brother, and me. It can fit 4 children. And it comes with this little like thing that you put on top of it. Now I'm not trying to brag because it's not the biggest tent, but it's a little roomy. And then it comes with this thing. You can put it on top. So let's say it was very cold. You put the cap on top, and I'm telling you, it will get so warm in that tent. You won't be able to sleep. But when you take the cap off, the nighttime air, whatever, is just blowing on you. But I'm gonna say it's a good tent. Like it's like a 5, maybe a 8 out of 10.
Well, we had a really big backyard at our old house, but our house was so small that we just had to get in a bigger house with a smaller backyard. A soul for a soul.
Our house, I'm not gonna say it's the biggest house, but I think our house is.
Our house isn't that big, actually. It's like one room bigger, but it has more bathrooms, so that's a win-win. It was just one floor, really small.
We have 2, and I think our house is very big. Other people, like rich braggers, may say not, but I think our house is really big.
My house is pretty big
Compared to
too.
the apartment.
I'd say like compared to my last house, like it's pretty big. I'm only saying that because it has a second floor. It's actually a lot smaller than the older house. If you like size comparison, like the square space it takes up is a lot less than old house square space.
But, I like this house.
But it has a second floor, so ergo, it's probably like the same size or bigger. So, yeah.
But I think I've run out of things to talk about, so I think we should go.
All right. That's all for this podcast. See you next time.
Just like say.
Bye.
If you like them, tell us. Bye.
Like and comment below if you're on YouTube. Like if you're on Spotify or SoundCloud. I don't know if you can like on Spotify or SoundCloud. I only use SoundCloud. Bye. Goodbye. Bye, podcast. Bye, friends.